Perez. Wilco makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello and welcome to episode 15 of our predictions series. With us is one of ABW's finest. It's Femster. The man's going to give us more sense and more logic than any of the other ABWs that have been on. Don't tell Carl I said that, because he'll make sure nobody gets to work on Monday. But Femi, how you doing? Are you excited?
Yeah, super excited. After watching that boring game, this will be more exciting than the game that I just watched.
I didn't watch. I forgot it was on, and then only when Fergus told me he was watching it, I thought, why didn't it start at 8 o'clock?
You missed nothing at all.
No.
Oh, you missed. Actually, you did. You missed Favio Vieira hitting about 10 crosses into the first man in open play. That is not from corners.
Oh dear. Has that sealed his future going back out on loan somewhere in Portugal?
Oh, we're on out of players at the moment, aren't we?
How did ESR look did they play Rice and Party next to each other and then play ESR ahead of them? Or was it the usual?
Rice played in the Xhaka role.
And how did he do?
He just looked so uncomfortable in that position. I don't know.
Don't tell me that.
He did. He just maybe, to be fair, let's give him some grace. I mean, he hasn't played a lot of preseason, but literally he had some decent stuff, a couple of nice 1-2s with Martinelli, but he just it took Xhaka a while to get into that role as well. So let's be fair to him. He's never been asked in his whole career to do what we're asking him to do, so he'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm still amazed that after 15 shows, Phil and Jim have been there for loads. Rudy has been in and out quite a bit, and we've got Patrick and Canterbury Gooner there. And what do you think to this, doing it this way, rather than just asking you lot for your predictions? Do you think it's more fun doing it this way?
Yeah. I'm sure the listeners are sitting there thinking, let's see which idiot's going to predict the most wildest things.
Well, you had Jassy on just before, French Gooner, who used to do a lot of stuff with Tom, and he did all of his with his heart and picked Arsenal for everything, and Tom was the opposite, did with his brain and picked Man City for everything. So I think it's just a balancing act of the two, and seeing which one was going to win, your heart or your brain. Let's go and bring up the predictions, and then have a little listen to what you normally have a chit chat with people about how they feel about the season. But as you're regularly on shows with us, there's no need to do that. We can just go straight and do some of the fun stuff. So I just want to make sure that on your details are right. It's Femster 82, and you are a part of ABW, and you have all that tattooed somewhere on your body.
Indeed.
Thank God for that. Right, Premier League champions. Here we go. What are you going for?
Oh, man.
First question, you're already in trouble.
No. I'm being honest. It's Man City are going to win the league.
Yeah.
It won't look like it. It won't look like it most of the season, but by the end, you would just think, they were always going to win the league.
I think that's what no one has gone for anybody other than Arsenal or Man City. So I think it's going to be much like it was last season. So where have you got us finishing? Where do you think we're going to finish? I got us finishing
third. Yeah, I've got our squad is just, it's not that it's unbalanced. It's just, it's going to take some time for us to get into the season, which could help. I mean, we've been flying starts a couple of the seasons, but I'm worried about our striking options. I don't think a lot of people, who knows? Saka's sick. Sorry, I was wondering why Saka didn't come on, because someone said he was warming up and then he went off. Said he was fine, but wasn't feeling great on the bench, and we didn't use him. I think he has some sickness. Well, sickness is better than injury, so yeah, I think third. I just think Liverpool. Watch out for them, I think.
Hantumi has put here that we're looking unbalanced and Man City are going to batter us. Do you think that could be the case? Because from what you said,
Well,
Rice is
I
struggling to
mean,
adapt to that role.
yeah, I don't know. We literally would midfield. I said I tweeted earlier. I've never seen our midfield chasing back so much in pre-season. We just look like teams are just having like 2-3 passes and they're getting straight into our back four, and our midfield is chasing them. It's like, oh, come on. Yeah. Anyway.
So he's not using Rice as a direct replacement role-wise for Xhaka.
He is, but it just didn't work. I don't know. It just he didn't look comfortable. Let's put it like that. I mean, but let's be fair. That's the first time he's played that position.
Yeah, because he usually plays the party role, doesn't he? Now
Yeah,
we've got
Party
from
was
people
good.
listening to this on the podcast that I'll put out later tonight when I put them all in one show. Rudy's put Mikel Arteta on Saka. He was fine, but wasn't feeling great on the bench, and we didn't want to use him. I think he had some sickness, so we could not use him, like Femi said a minute ago. And then Rudy's also put new Jesus to miss the start of the season with a minor knee injury. And then Rudy's also followed that up with Mikel Arteta on Zinchenko, quote, he's close. I think he's going to start training with the team and hopefully we'll have him back very soon.
Did you know that Zinchenko, I think the charity match on Sunday for Ukraine is the same time as the Community Shield? I mean, he's not fit, but it's still a bit weird, isn't it? He won't be with Arsenal. He will be with his...
One of the pods we did last night, somebody said that maybe that's the problem with Zinchenko. They're annoyed. The Arsenal were annoyed that he agreed to do it, but they've said, okay, you can play, but you're only allowed to play 5 minutes.
Yeah, but to make him skip a whole pre-season for that would be just counterproductive, wouldn't it? Yeah. He literally has not. He hasn't kicked a ball since May.
Well, who knows? I've spent a decade guessing about stuff doing this podcast, and I don't think I've ever once been right, apart from keep ESR. And now I've changed my position on party. I'm saying keep party, so I'm trying to grasp that by the coattails and make it look like I know what I'm on about. Right, Arsenal top goal scorer, all competitions. Most people say Saka, a couple Martinelli, but Jassy said in the last show that it was going to be Ødegaard.
With Champions League, no, Saka's a big game player. I'm going Saka. I think he's a big game player, and I think with us being in the Champions League, I think he'll get a few.
I think Jesse's point was that if Saka misses another penalty, somebody else will start taking them, and Ødegaard takes the free kicks. And if he starts taking penalties, and it's a 64-game season maximum, if we get to all the finals, which I don't think we will, but he said he could well be playing 50-plus games this season, and that's only a goal every other game to get 25.
He doesn't have a direct replacement, does he? He's like the only player in our squad that doesn't have one. And I don't think Vieira will be playing there after watching him play there today.
Yeah, I think that was the plan to let Vieira play in that role. But the more we see of him, the more it's not working out. What have you got for Spurs' final league position?
I had them finishing 7th.
Oh, you've been very generous there. That's the highest that anyone's ever gone with. There's been a few ones.
Well, I think it's a big caveat, I guess, with depending on what they do with that guy that plays up front for them.
Yeah,
I guess that kind of makes a difference. Like, I mean, if he leaves, he's basically their savior, isn't he? So,
do you think he'll stay?
I think he'll stay.
I don't. I think he's going to wait to the very last minute because you know what Daniel Levy is like. Wants to squeeze every penny out of the deal. He doesn't want to go to
Germany. He just doesn't seem. It just doesn't seem that serious.
No, I mean,
if it was like Man United or Man City or someone else, I'd probably say, yeah, he'll probably stay. But just I can't picture him just playing that abroad. Like, I just can't see it.
Well, Man City have got Haaland, and Man United have just bought that Scandinavian bloke. And Chelsea could do with a striker. I know they got Nkunku, but he's not a proper striker in that position. So Chelsea maybe, Mourinho, Pochettino. So still hope. But it's just that's what happened with Gareth Bale. Waited to the very last minute. And that's why we got Ozil on transfer deadline day, because that's how long he waited to the last minute to sell Bale. What have you got for winning the FA Cup? Most people are saying Arsenal or Man City. What you got?
FA Cup. I've gone... See, I was gonna go Brighton when I was looking at this, but then I
Josh isn't
remember that they're.
listening. No, don't be
But
nice to
no, I
Josh.
remember that they're in Europe, so I can't see them doing that well if they've got if they're still in the what are they in the Europa League? I think if they're still in Europa League latter stages, I can't see them taking the FA Cup that seriously. To be fair, so I'm gonna go Manchester United.
That's a very good shout. I don't think anyone else has picked Man United.
They're a cup team. Look, they got to all the finals last season, didn't they? They get to the League Cup final?
Yeah, they won the League Cup.
Yeah, and they got to the FA Cup final. And they got quite far in Europe, and they're just designed to counter-attack. So they're a good cup team.
Nobody has said Man United for either of the cups so far out of the other 14 predictions. And now that you say that, how could nobody have picked that when they got to both finals last year? People are idiots, Fem. They're idiots. So what are you going to go for the League Cup? You're going to go for a League and FA Cup double for Man United?
No, I like that Aston Villa shout. Do
you know we had an Aston Villa fan on, and he didn't even pick Aston Villa for it. He said they'd be very busy concentrating on Europe.
They will, but Emery's a cup guy. He can't help himself in the cup.
Yeah.
And they have got a little bit of a deeper squad as well than most people think.
I think Seb said the key to their next season is if he can get a tune out of I always forget his bloody name, the one Liverpool sold Barcelona, Coutinho. If they can get him to do something, like when he first turned up, he was brilliant.
Where's he going to play? He's not even going to step on the pitch. Forget about that.
He's got Saudi Arabia written all over him. 31 years old, massive wages. Off you go. Did you see that that Twitter link that I put in the WhatsApp group about all the goals that Pepe scored? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
How haven't we been able to get the most out of that bloke? Some of those goals, pulling back, he's doing what Saka does, isn't he? He gets down the right hand side.
His first free kick,
he scored 2 in one game, didn't he?
Yeah, 2 in one game, yeah.
How can't we get a tune out of him or give him a go? He's got to be better than Vieira, hasn't he? Different position, but.
Well, I think once Arteta makes up his mind about a player, I think there's not coming back, really, is there?
That is very true. Right, here we go. This is the we tell whether you're off your trolley or not. Champions League winner, what are you going for?
Oh, I don't want to say Man City because I'm just thinking, looking at their squads. See, I think Man City are going to make a couple more signings. Real Madrid don't have a striker. They've lost Benzi, which makes me doubt them a lot more now. And he was their saviour in those wild seasons they were having.
Didn't
Munich?
Remember Joselu? I think it was ex-Barcelona. Ended up at Stoke. They've got Real Madrid have got him on loan
up front. Yeah,
but he had a good season last season.
The other day.
Yeah, he had a good season last season. Scored 20-odd La Liga goals, but. That it just looks a little bit like Ben Yedder when he went and played for Barcelona. I think it was him that played there.
Yeah.
You think, how do these people end up playing at these clubs? We get one season. It was like when we had, who was the Brazilian bloke? Julio Batista. Those kind of players, they get one season in the sun and then you never hear from them again. So you're sticking with...
Put me down for... that Mbappe. Do you know what? Put me down for Barcelona to win the Champions League.
Oh, a new name.
Yeah, they were rubbish last season in the Champions League, but their defensive record is outrageous. They hardly let in all their games, majority of the games in the league last season finished 1-0. You believe it or not. So I think once they sell Ousmane Dembele, they're still going to add one more attacker. That's going to be sort of an electric player. And then let's see what they do.
Yeah, Josh is just asking if he can do 9 p.m. tomorrow. Cactus Cash has got that. So where are we up to? Top goal scorer, who is a Premier League player, but all competitions. Everyone has gone Haaland, apart from Mike McDonald went Nkunku, and Suburban Guna went Martinelli, and then Jassy went Erdegaard. What are you going for?
I'm going Haaland.
Yes. Got to be, hasn't it? Do you think he'll match the 52 goals that he got last season or beat it?
I think he'll come close because I think he was getting better as the season went on, and he even slowed down at the end of the season as well. But he had a weird start, didn't he, where he wasn't clicking with the team. I think now that the team knows him a bit more, I think he'll be good. He'll be good.
Yeah, it is. But hopefully, the form he had at the end of last season, 1 in 7 or 1 in 6, hopefully he brings that forward to the new season and they completely fail. That would be hilarious. Do you think at any point the Man City owners are going to go, well, we've just done the quadruple. This season they're up for 7 trophies, could do back-to-back doubles, back-to-back Champions League. Is there any point that the owners are going to go, yeah, we're done with football now and sell up?
No,
and will then Man City drift back down into League 2 where they belong?
Nah. What do they care? It can just keep ticking over for them. They don't invest massive amounts of money now. They just have to buy like 1 or 2 players a season now. That's how good their squad is.
Yeah, hopefully losing Gundogan is going to be a problem for them, but it won't be. They got Rodri. I mean, that kid is amazing. The winners of the championship, there's been quite a few different teams here. We've got a Leeds fan coming on the show later tonight. I think at the 10 after you actually, 10 o'clock. So we'll have one, and I've got an Everton fan coming on. I've asked a Chelsea fan to come on. So what are you going to go for the championship?
Oh man, I'm not too versed on it. I know Leicester got that Man City assistant coach, and he's supposed to be the bee's knees, but they keep selling players. Southampton, they keep selling players as well, and I think they still got a few players to lose. Leicester have lost a lot of players. Someone said Middlesbrough, but I don't know much about Middlesbrough, to be honest. I'm not really that versed on any of these teams. Let's go Leicester.
That is the easy choice, isn't it?
And they have lost a few players, but I do like their manager. Obviously just from watching City, and he's close to Pep as well. So
who's their manager?
Arteta. He was one of Pep's assistants.
That's a long old list. He's had more assistants now than Sir Alex Ferguson did.
To be fair, he lost 2 assistants this summer, so let's see if that affects the way they play.
Yeah, we've lost the one that was Man United assistant manager, didn't we? We've lost him to
Steve Brown. He was the 4th official whisperer, I call him. He's the one that always gets off the bench and talks to the foot. Apparently, you can't do that anymore.
It's ruining all the fun. First manager to be fired. What you got?
Oh, you know what? I had either the Wolves manager, because they just always sold their best player and they just don't sign players, or the Nottingham Forest manager, because their owner's so volatile, anything can happen with him, and they could just have a bad start. See, I want to say West Ham are going to have a bad start this season, and Moyes, but they stuck by Moyes, and he's got this thing where he just does enough to stay in the job. It's just about. So I'm going to go Lopetegui at Wolves. I think he's not going to last too long.
He's a very good manager. You look at his stuff. He is,
but they just don't. They don't give him anything. He's been complaining about signing since the end of last season, and they've literally been in financial trouble. Apparently, they were in danger of breaking FFP until what's his name got sold to Saudi Arabia. So that saved their bacon. But they really haven't signed anyone. I don't know, man. We'll see. Roy might be, let's see if Roy makes it through. I mean, they won't sack. Will they sack Roy Hodgson? Because he's complaining about signing, as they haven't signed anyone either.
It'll just go back into.
But a lot of these smaller teams just start signing loads of players right at the end of the window. So it's really hard, isn't it?
It is. So looking back at yours, Arsenal finished 3rd. That's an odd one. Man United, I think that's a good call for the FA Cup. Barcelona for the Champions League is an interesting one. So you've made a couple of choices there that nobody else has. So you're breaking new ground there. I like that. So you are guest number, is it 16? Yeah, you're guest number 16. So that's that done. Anything else you want to have a chat about before we go? Because we've only been going 19 minutes.
No, I'm worried about this Gabriel Jesus thing. I saw in the chat earlier. I'm like, knee surgery. He went for knee surgery. That's just before the season starts. That's absolutely. I don't know what we're going to do about this striking position, because I'm just not convinced about Eddie Nketiah. I mean, he can score goals if you get, but I just don't think we play his style of football. And Balogun just isn't even training with the team anymore. So what are we going to do? I mean, this Jesus injury doesn't seem like a one-off either. This is like a pattern now, isn't it? These especially knee injuries. So got to be careful with that.
Yeah, it could be something as little as fluid on the knee, or it could be something like his legs falling off. We have no idea until the club decide to give us, until they give us a little bit more information.
They didn't give us anything in January when he got.
No,
it was the journals that was telling us, oh yeah, he's out for 3 months, and they were hearing it from Brazil. When they were asking Arteta every week, he refused to kind of give a time frame.
Yeah.
So
everything.
I'll wait for Ornstein. He'll tell us the truth. If somehow he finds out.
We should try and get Ornstein on the pod.
Why not? Him in his hat.
And his we've had Kaya Kanak on, and we've had Charles Watts on. Chris managed to get Charles Watts. So who knows? Oh, here we go. 3-1-2 Gooners, but looks like it's just arthroscopic surgery on his surgically repaired knee from last season, and Bronco says source. So it's just going to be a load of that until we actually find out what it is. Oh, here we go. 3-1-2 Gooner says, Arteta said in his press conference today that it was on the same knee as last season and it was a minor irritation. Hopefully 3-1-2. That could be it. What was that? Oh no, Miami Gooner John is 309. I think that's the area code, is it? Oh, my one is where I live is 01480. There you go. I'm paying for a house phone, Femi, and I don't even own a bloody house phone. Sort your lives out, Sky. I don't want it. You're charging me money.
They're changing them to digital house phones soon, if that makes any help.
No, if you want me, you call me on my mobile. I'm not answering the other one.
They're changing them to digital home phones, where you can answer your phone from a computer or something like that. That's what Sky are doing, or BT, or whoever does it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Not only do we talk football, we're talking technology. So anyone got any technology questions, save them, because we're not doing that. All right, Femi, thank you very much. That has been wonderful. It's nice to have you on. Some wise words, some interesting choices, which is very good. Next up is the Leeds fan, Tom. So, Thomas. And, they've just been freshly relegated. And we'll find out whether Leeds have any chance of being promoted next season, because a couple of people have actually picked Leeds to win the championship, so we will see. All there is now, Femi, is to tell people where they can find you on the Twitters if they're only listening.
Oh yeah, at Femster82.
Don't point to it if it's for the listeners.
Yeah, at Femster82 on Twitter. Go
Lovely,
give me a follow.
Yes, it's very, very good, interesting stuff. So all it needs to do now is, Femi, you say goodbye to the boys and girls, and I will end the show.
Take care, everyone. See you soon.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business.
You nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I was just eating a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at Ibs, so when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never in doubt.